Night I dreamed I was dancing with Isadora Duncan in a silver cafe. It was a cafe that was not at home here. She was planning to diversify. She sang I should do the same. When I whistled to her how I loved her the best, she sang I can't believe you want this attitude. With some ballet moves I removed her shoe, and I painted my lips to hers, and she sang I can't believe you want this attitude. And she said believe you own this attitude. I didn't want it to sound like that. Her mind was occupied. Her heart coffee was cold by then as snow. She said her smile was more than pearly white, and her dreams are more than you. Her yellow eyes are like mirrors, and her scarf is more than costume. And she's saying I
to hide. You've been acting kinda nervous. You can't look me in the eye. I can't tell. I can't tell. I can't tell. You're cheating me. You're cheating me. Cheating me. Ooh, baby, I'm free of you. Touch me, don't you touch me. Everything is broken. I believe in you no more. Does she satisfy you, honey? Can she make you feel alive? Can't stand the thought of you naked in someone else's arms. I can't tell. I can't tell. I can't tell. You're cheating me. You're cheating me. Cheating me. Ooh, baby, I'm free of you. Ooh, baby, I'm free of you. Free of you. Ta-ta-ta. Ta-ta. I can't tell. I can't tell. I can't tell. You're cheating me. You're cheating me. Cheating me. Ooh, baby, I'm free of you. Ooh, baby, I'm free of you. Free of
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, no. Makwina.
Hi.
Makwina.
Hi.
Damn it. Hi.
Steve
no.
Barber from-
Makwina.
Hi.
Makwina.
Hi.
Damn it. Hi.
Hi.
No. Makwina.
Steve Barber from-
Makwina. Damn it. Hi. No. Makwina.
Hi.
Makwina.
Hi.
Damn it. Hi.
Steve Barber from
And you're listening to the nation's music source, WFAQ-LP-FM, Makwanagaw, on 101.3 and WFAQ.com. Hi.
The long and winding road that leads to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. It always leads me here. Lead me to your door. The wild and windy night that the rain washed away has left a pool of tears, crying for the day. Why leave me standing here? Let me know the way. Many times I've been alone, and many times I've cried. Anyway, you've always known the many ways I've tried, but still they lead me back to the long winding road. You left me waiting here a long, long time ago. Don't
walk with me. Come on, please take a walk with me. Back to the same old place, baby, where we long to be. Come on, please take a walk with me. Come on, please take a walk with me. Back to the same old place, baby, where you're up in Tennessee. Now you know early one morning, baby, about 4:30, you know you come knocking up on poor Nutty's door. Come on, please take a walk with me. Back to the same old place, baby, where we long to be. Well, now come on now, gal, you know I'm gotta walk so slow till every time you see me, little woman, you gonna wanna walk some more. Come on, please take a walk with me. Back to the same old place, mama, where we long to be. Well, now you know I'm gonna take a little walk on the avenue. I got something, baby, just for you to do. Come on, please take a walk with me.
You want your gal to take a walk with you?
Back to the same old place, yeah, where we long to be. Well, now you know I believe I walk on out of town. I'm getting tired of you dogging me, woman, now. Dogging me around, come on. Please take a walk with me. Back to the same old place, yeah, where we long to be.
With wish that I stayed. Don't even know what made me run away. It's just the way I play the game. Emotional is not a word that used to explain myself. But now you've got me down upon my knees. Oh baby, please just take me back. And I don't want to be in love, but you're making me. Let me up, I've had enough. You're breaking me. Now here I am, half a man standing alone, and feeling like I lost my only chance at happiness when I let you go. And I don't want to be all alone, thinking about you, girl. And I've got nothing left to hold in my lonely one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The first time my heart was ever touched was the day I lost your love. Can feel it in my flesh and blood. But my heart can only take so much. So there it is. Why can't you give it one more try? And you and I could find a way to live if you let me in just one more time. 'Cause I know you lost your faith in me, but I still believe. Can I make you understand? Can I make you see? I am desperate for your love, and it's breaking me. Honey, oh, it's breaking me.
Let's go across the tracks. What do you say? A gypsy woman told my mother before I was born, say you got a boy child coming up, child. He gonna be a son of a gun, Lord, Lord. He gonna make a pretty women jump and shout, and the whole world is gonna know what he putting out. You know what I'm saying? Now I got an axe handle pistol, yes I have. It's built on a graveyard frame. I shoot tombstone bullets. And when I drink a little TNT, smoke a little dynamite. What's wrong with that? I wish some screwball would come up there and try to put me upside. You know what I mean? On the 25th hour of the 32nd day, child, of the 13th month, you know, little girl. 9 doctors said I'm gonna be born for good luck, you know. Might run for prime minister, you know, child. I got 700 votes here now, child. And don't you mess with me.
woke me all night long. Awoke from a bad dream. It haunts you all night long.
Take a walk downtown. The mass and the motion make a sound. The music fills their ears with tenderness and tears. A started emotion to cancel out your frown. A shiver of cold air woke me all night long. Awoke from a bad dream to find I was not wrong. Everything we've done becomes so burdensome. The night is so frozen. It haunts you all night long. Omnipotence and true. There's one in the paper who looks a lot like you. I used to have a love. She was my lord above. Now I look to the cold side to find a dream come true. Now I look to the cold side to find a dream come true.
music from The Cure on WTPS. Something called Throw Your Feet. Fiat Lux before that doing Sleepless Nightmare. And Depeche Mode opened up that set of music with People Are People. This is Modern Music, 24 hours a day on WTPS, Cable FM 107. Commander Todd, your musical host, morning, noon, and night, bringing you next Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark with Locomotion.
Hier spricht die katholische Kirche. Unser Beichtstuhl ist vorübergehend nicht besetzt. Für dringende Fälle steht Ihnen unser automatischer Sündenspeicher zur Verfügung. Die Absolution wird Ihnen per Nachname zugestellt. Bitte beichten Sie jetzt.
So, jetzt sag nochmal, Ludwig, wie war das?
Ein typischer britischer Panzerangriff auf deutschen Schnellzug. Aber die tapferen blauen deutschen Schaffnerjungs überrollten sie. Der Rest wurde am Boden zerstört. Räder müssen rollen für den Sieg. Ciao.
Es folgen weitere Nachrichten aus dem Nahen Osten. Rom. Palästinenserführer Yasser Arafat erhielt eine Privataudienz beim Heiligen Vater. Und Christenführer Gemayel bei dessen Chef. Amen. Hier spricht der automatische Anrufbeantworter. Bitte versuchen Sie mich im Buckingham-Palast zu erreichen und verlangen Sie die Suite Ihrer Majestät. Ich sitze dort auf dem Bett. Ciao. Czukay-Werbung aktuell. Meckanold meldet.
Gestern erlegten persische Patrioten 60 Ungläubige. Aus iranischen Landen frisch auf dem Tisch. Islamburger, der Spaß für die ganze Familie. Guten Tag.
Vom nächsten Samstag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Zusatzzahl 7. Diese Durchsage ist ohne Gewähr. Soeben erreicht uns eine Sondermeldung aus Jerusalem. Wegen geht nicht und der Messias kommt nicht. Moskau. Als der sowjetische Partei- und Regierungschef Leonid Brezhnev vom Wunsch des deutschen Bundeskanzlers Helmut Kohl hörte, Moskau zu besuchen, erlitt er einen tödlichen Herzanfall. Und nun bittet sie das Bundeskriminalamt um ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Wer erschoss Beate U? XY meldet erste Ergebnisse. Die Axt im Haus erspart Herrn Zimmermann. Zum Abschluss der Meldungen. Czukay Nachrichten aktuell. Der Freistaat Bayern beansprucht die Urheberrechte an Adolf Hitlers Tagebüchern sowie am gesamten Nachlass des Führers. Als erste Wiedergutmachungsgäste legten 300 Jodler in Amtstracht an der Kreml-Klagemauer feierlich ihre Gamsbärte und eine Prise Schnupftabak nieder. Bei einer Routinekontrolle in einer Londoner Klinik für künstliche Befruchtung gelangte wertvollstes Herrenmenschen Saatgut in einen geteerten Eimer. Rom. Seine Heiligkeit Papst Wojtyla ist an einem geplatzten Wechsel in Rom geplatzt. In dem darauffolgenden Konzil versprachen die Kardinäle, die Finanzpolitik des Heiligen Stuhls transparenter zu machen und gläserne Opferstücke einzuführen. Diese Meldung ist streng vertraulich und nur für die Händler bestimmt. Lord Stanley, Bei ihrem letzten Besuch auf den Falklands erlegte Frau Thatcher mit einem einzigen Schuss 5 Pinguine, die sie irrtümlich für argentinische Oberkellner hielt. Und nun noch eine Meldung vom Sport. Der weltbekannte Bergsteiger Reinhold Messner brachte seine Frau in die Eiger Nordwand zur Entbindung.
Endgames with their song Desire, an extended version of that. China Crisis behind that with Here Comes a Rain Cloud, a live version, and Holger Czukay did Bänkel Rap 82. I'm Commander Todd on radio station WTPS on Viacom, Cable FM 107 and Channel 27A, bringing you modern music 24 hours a day. And up next is the Icicle Works, something called Factory in the Desert.
Fingers clutch me with each motion that I hear.
Holger Hiller with Chemische und Physikalischen Entdeckungen. The Cure before that, doing Shake Dog Shake. And Colorbox opened up that set of music with Justice. This is modern music 24 hours a day on Viacom, Cable FM 107, WTPS in Milwaukee. I'm Commander Todd, your musical host, and I'm going to be bringing you something from Julian Cope next. This is called The Greatness and Perfection of Love.
Something happening in the cauldron of love. We eagerly wait to feel the labors of love. On the shallow river we were hatching schemes. Maybe life isn't what it seems. Maybe life isn't what it seems. Beneath the grapefruit moon we would roll in the grass. You said these times must never pass. I know when love is where you want it to be. Follow me. When I ran, you didn't follow me. The world is waiting for cohesion to come through. Anticipation of a line that rings true. Patch it up with string and glue. Look who waits for you in the cauldron of love.
The Icicle Works, doing The Cauldron of Love. Bill Nelson before that with The Meat Room and The Dance Society with a different version of 2,000 Light Years from Home. You're listening to Cable FM 107 and Channel 27A on Viacom. Modern music round the clock. WTPS. Some Holger Hiller next. This is called Der Osten ist Rat. something from Depeche Mode called In Your Memory. You're listening to the Midwest's first professional cable FM station, radio station WTPS in Milwaukee, where we feature modern music 24 hours a day. And I'm Commander Todd, your musical host. What you're listening to is something from the Elemental 7 soundtrack.
Kiss me. enjoyed your journey this morning. The audio spectrum of WFAQ LP Mukwonago. The spaceship at 101.3 FM. Good morning to you. A minute past 6 o'clock. Welcome to the Commander Todd Show. Saturday morning, the 14th of June, 2025. We just enjoyed a musical selection, an extended piece titled Spaceship Melody from Deeper Than Space. Nice stuff. The tail end of another commercial-free set of sounds emanating from, yes, the nation's music source, from an LP called Earthrise in 2016 on the Silent Records label. Deeper Than Space. Prior to that, we listened to Angus MacLaren performing Sea Shanty, the Ramphoricris mix, I believe that's how it's pronounced. A song entitled Fight Song from Pleasant. In our segment, Denise Williams chipped in When the Love Comes Calling. We're going to continue this set of music, commercial-free and uninterrupted, from your community radio station, WFAQ LP Mukwonago, for the last 17-plus years. And just a taste, I want to say good morning. Thank you for listening. Just getting started here. Got the coffee on. Burn that toast. Spread the musical butter in the next segment with the sounds of B-52s, Robert Preston, Medicine, Screamin' Jay Hawkins, the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, and so much more. But first, the weather forecast. Overcast skies right now, 56 degrees, but we're going to see decreasing clouds throughout the day today, and eventually a high temperature of 75. Winds out of the east, 5 to 10 miles per hour today. Looks like a beautiful day to get out, enjoy the weekend. And tonight, 55, partly cloudy skies overnight, and then tomorrow, even nicer, mostly sunny with a high of 79 degrees on Father's Day. And then tomorrow evening, mostly cloudy, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, low of 59. Sunday night, Monday bumping up to 83. Pretty good chance of rain as well on Monday night, low of 63 overnight. Current conditions around the area, humidity 83%, east winds of 3 miles per hour, overcast skies 56 in beautiful downtown Mukwonago. Lots of stuff going on this weekend. The Lakefront Festival of the Arts in Milwaukee, Polish Fest is in full effect. Also in the local area, Summerfest, put on by the Mukwonago Lions, occurring in Field Park, kicked off yesterday. And happening through the weekend, tomorrow there's the Father's Day Parade and the car show. Many things going on. Enjoy, be safe, have fun, and keep it tuned to 101.3 FM. Bruce Springsteen is next with 57 channels and nothing on. Right after we check in with local celebrity, plant doctor. Yeah, she's in the Mukwonago area. Ms. Melinda Myers. What do you think? Exactly?
Hi, this is Melinda Myers, and you may know me as the Plant Doctor, and you're listening to WFAQ LP FM in Mukwonago on 101.3 and WFAQ.com. It's the nation's music source. Exactly.
I bought a bourgeois house in the Hollywood Hills with a trunk load of $100,000 bills. Man came by to hook up my cable TV. We settled in for the night, my baby and me. We switched round and round till dawn. There was 57 channels and nothing on. 57 channels and nothing on. 57 channels and nothing on. Well now, was my baby's wish, so I hopped into town for a satellite dish. I tied it to the top of my Japanese car. I came home when I pointed it out into the stars. A message came back from the great beyond. There's 57 channels and nothing on. 57 channels and nothing on. 57 channels and nothing on. Bill, you might have made some friends with some billionaires. You might have got all nice and friendly if we made it upstairs. All I got was a note that said bye-bye, John. Our love's 57 channels and nothing on. So I bought a 44 Magnum with solid steel cast. And in the blessed name of Elvis, well, I just let it blast. Till my TV lay in pieces there at my feet. And they busted me for disturbing the almighty peace. Judge said, what you got in your defense, son? 57 channels and nothing on. 57 channels and nothing on. 57 channels and nothing on. I can see by your eyes, friend, you're just about gone. 57 channels and nothing on. 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 57 channels and
A while ago, I was going to do the Johnny Cash show. And, I wrote a song especially for it when I was going to be doing it. But then after I wrote the song, they canceled me. But later on, they hired me again. And I'm going to be on the show, and we're going to tape it on the 4th, I think, or the 10th or something, of February. And there's going to be James Taylor and Linda Ronstadt. Anyway, I'm not going to do this song on that show. It's real old now. I was going to do it with Carl Perkins in the Tennessee 3.
Sweet caress from you. What makes tomorrow guess? What makes me take for me and put aside the rest? I dream of sweet caress from you. I
feelings too. You let them throw that in my face. It's all your fault. I could have been the one. I think about that every day. What do
Remember what it was like to be 15? Nothing to do and all the time in the world to do it? There's a car, and the keys are in it. No one is watching. You've never driven a car before, but you've watched. You know all the moves. All the moves. Another accident that didn't have to happen. Young car thieves need your help. Don't give it to them. Lock your car. Take your keys. A reminder from the U.S. Department of Justice.
We're going under an hour.
beautiful morning. Turn on the radio and let's have some music.
Gary, Indiana.
What a wonderful name.
Named for Albert Gary of Judiciary fame. Gary, Indiana, as a Shakespeare would say, drips along softly on the tongue this way. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me when. Now if you'd like to have a logical explanation how I happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my fame.